Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, all around the world. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and this is DocStar TV. And today I have the privilege, honor of having Tora Klein on, and she's from Australia, down under. That's why we're calling this show Thunder Down Under. And let's find out what's going on in Australia in the health world. And just know that Tora, she has the most beautiful retreat, okay? The last time I went to her retreat, it's up in the mountains, and we actually had to drive across a river. I'd say the river's about 30 feet wide, so it's not that wide, but it was actually about 2.5 feet deep, and we had to drive through the river to get to her place. Now, I'm not making this up, but what a gorgeous place. I don't know how many acres they have, but it's just absolutely beautiful. If you haven't been to Australia, you might want to check that out sometime. And Tora, how are you?
I am very well, Daryl. It's also a privilege to be speaking to you and all you beautiful, brave hearts out there in the world. And yes, Daryl is right. We have a beautiful piece of paradise on the Dorrigo Mountain.
Yeah.
And Dorrigo is about halfway between Sydney and Brisbane. It's actually 530 acres, and we have waterfalls, we have big swimming holes, rainforests you can walk in, and yeah, I create a beautiful personal treatment and training, beautiful self-healing retreat environment for my clients, and I've been really immersed in this journey, taking my beautiful, beautiful clients on the journey of healing and healing themselves.
Yeah, she's taken actually shipping containers that are actually refrigerated, so the inside is really a kind of like a beautiful stainless steel color. I actually slept in one of them, and so beautiful, so comfortable. And then glass, you can look outside, and you can also, they even have a fishing hole if you want to go fishing or if you want to go kayaking, right? You've got all that. So if you really want to go to someone who has a cardio med bed, which is don't you just love this one? I love this one. I love all the BS that gets spread around like manure. Does anybody remember the med bed? Okay, the big story. The med bed's coming. You're going to lay in that. You're going to get healed. Oh, wait a minute. But if it is real, the military are going to actually control it. So, and wait a minute. It's going to cost a lot of money if you actually get to have it. Okay. How many stories have you guys heard of things that are just going to be like, wow, and it never happens? Okay, understand. And that's what we're here to tell you today is, guess what? You need to be your own hero. You need to go from a victim to a hero, and you need to go from a patient to a practitioner. And understand something. Tora has a cardio med bed, which is actually real. And which is actually can restore the circulation in someone. You could go to Tora, and you could have a 93% blockage in your heart. Did you get that? You're already booked for surgery, and she's going to put you on a perfect day diet, put you on a cardio med bed 15 minutes today. Tomorrow she's going to put you on there for a big whopping hour. The second day, if you're staying with her, she can put you on for an hour, then take a little break, get hydrated, go eat something, and then go put you on again for another hour. And if she were to put you on there 35 to 37 hours on this cardio med bed, okay, guess what? You ready for this? Believe it, don't believe it, doesn't really matter. We can prove it. You just created a brand new whole set of arteries in your heart. You do not need to have heart surgery. There. And then she's got a Cellsonic, and the Cellsonic is the 25,000 volt turned into a love frequency harmonic. It really is. So you're getting 25,000 volts, but you're getting it in a field. Do you understand what a field is, everyone? Okay, so in a field, you can get the power of 25,000 volts, but not the zzz, right? It'll shut down inflammation in just a couple of pulses. And I mean all the way to stage 4 inflammation. Now, will it stay away? Well, nah, I don't know. Are you going to change your personality? Are you going to change your thoughts? Are you going to change the way you eat? Are you going to change the way you treat yourself? Are you going to go and create a perfect day? Okay, I am struggling right now with the last chapter of my book, but I said that I would have it in everybody's inbox that I have an email for. And right now we've got close to 85,000 emails. The book is going to be free to everyone who goes to pdgfree.com. That stands for Perfect Day Guide, free.com. And my last article that I'm doing, I'll get it done by Thursday morning. We'll finish the last few pages, and then we'll get it to everybody in their email, and then it goes to print in 8 days. But the reality is it doesn't matter. Even when you're talking about parasites, everybody goes in and uses herbs to try to scare the parasites out the vagina, the rectum, the eyeballs, the ear, whatever orifice they can chase them. Why wouldn't it be better? Why wouldn't it be better not to even create them? Okay? Understand that. You know, everybody's got this thing, right? Well, everybody's got this thing. Oh, I'm going to do a parasite cleanse like 3 times a year. Well, why did you create them? You didn't eat them. Oh, yeah, if you ate sushi, you know, how many people know for every centimeter of sushi, you have 100,000 larvae in there of worms? 100,000. So that, just know when you're eating that stuff. But the reality is, how many people know that most of the worms that are crawling around inside of us that are actually destroying our life, okay, we did not eat. We actually created them. The invisible created the physical. Yeah. Did you know that you could eat a pure diet, organic, and then walk around, complain about your life, and get depressed, and you'd grow worms inside yourself? Yeah. And guess what? I'm going to be doing a 1-a-day tomorrow, and it's all about universal intelligence and your thoughts. And understand something. Yeah, your thoughts could create a worm. Your thoughts can create a tumor. Your thoughts could create a healing that they told you could never do. What do you think, Tora?
I think you're exactly on the money, Daryl. And, you know, and the reason, you know, and I've been a New World practitioner for quite a time, and I've been in the wellness, I call it a game, actually, for quite a time too. And, you know, what I'm really finding is that by having people come and stay with me for a minimum of 3, 7, or 10 days, I'm really able to take them in my sort of energy vortex, in my environment. And it takes for, you know, 3 days for the kind of the monkey mind and the mad patterns and habits, and I don't let them be on technology or anything like that. So I physically remove all the distraction, I physically remove all the toxins, and then really just allow them to settle into themselves. And, you know, even with parasites, and I've worked with lots of clients with parasites, and yes, and you're right, typically someone is, you know, plant-based or vegan or organic, but it's, you know, it's the inner terrain, it's the emotion, it's sort of the way that we traumatize ourselves. And by coming into a really beautiful, healing place where, you know, we have to actually sit with ourselves, we connect to our body, our mind, we feel what beautiful cleansing juices and foods and blender drinks and high vibrational nutraceuticals that actually change our physical field, that change our emotional field, our energetic field. And in that environment, when we fill ourselves up with all that beautiful high resonant, high frequency nourishment, actually parasites can't live.
Isn't it the craziest thing, you know? That it's all vibrational. Everything is vibration. And that's why it's vibration and circulation. That's it. That's it. It's vibration and circulation. And if we can get the calcium back into your bones, if we can get the scar tissue to have electrical charge again and bring it back to its beautiful connective tissue, which we can, what can't we do? What can't we do? And understand something. Do you know why we are doing personal treatment and trainings and we're going harder on that right now? Because they are going to try to shut us all down again. They're going to try to make moving around really hard. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. We went and did a world tour, and I did 12 whole life coaches in 13 months. And I'm doing another world tour until they decide to shut the sucker down or try to. But the reality is, before the COVID thing happened, we were triple booked on personal treatment and trainings. And that means sending, like, my son, Dr. Sage Wolf, like right now, he's in Australia. But but we're going back to personal treatment and trainings where he's traveling around the world to people's clinics, people's homes, and doing personal treatment and trainings, or they're going to be coming to Mexico because we have a Cellsonic here, we have a Cardio Med bed here, and we're going to be not treating like we did like a year and a half ago. We had what was called the World Healing and Training in Mexico, where we had not hundreds, but thousands of people coming down. And understand something. That was fun, but it was grueling, okay? Now what we need to do is we need to get the people that are awake and decide that, guess what? I don't want to get treated. I want to become my own practitioner. I don't want you either, Dr. Wolf. I want to be the person that looks after me and my family. And that's what personal treatment and trainings are, is where a couple comes or the whole family comes, or, the last one we did, we had a group of 4 sisters come. So, it doesn't matter. But you know what we find is when you do the personal treatment and trainings, you make the world a difference. This is not a show, guys. Oh, that was enjoyable. Oh, well, I was really entertained by Dr. Wolf. Now I'm going to go back to my lifestyle. Understand something. Why do you think you get cancer for the second time, third time, and then you leave this planet? Because we couldn't get in there deep enough, strong enough, long enough to create different thoughts in you. So you went back to your old personality, and your old personality is what's going to bring you down, baby. And let me tell you something right now, and you can believe it or not believe it, but if you are doing anything that the majority does, that's your first mistake. Okay, understand. I will never eat, drink, think, or do anything the majority is doing. And they say the majority rules. Well, guess what? Yes. The majority is getting ruled, okay? And they're getting schooled, and they're getting fooled, and they're being sold off by the pound, and that's why they call this harvest time. And that's why Tora and a lot of my other master consultants were going into personal treatment and trainings for those people that really want to shake it up and wake it up. What do you think, Tora?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Daryl. And we are so distracted in this time that we are living in, and we have disconnected from our purpose and our passion and I've been working with for a few weeks, saying yesterday when he left, he gave me a big hug and wished me a beautiful Christmas and said, look, you're an amazing healer. I said, no, I'm not a healer at all. I'm just an activator. I'm a conduit. I'm allowing you to see something within you, to touch the God spark within you, so you have your spark and your power and your passion back. And he has the sort of the spring back in his step. He has the sparkle back in his eyes. He has the light back in his heart. And as New World practitioners and master trainers, it's just the biggest gift. And because we have walked before you 2 or 3 steps ahead, we've gone through this incredible whole life training. We've learned this most amazing, powerful, transformational wolf non-surgical body work, and we have this incredible high energy, high vibrational energy medicine devices, and all of that together is really just allows us to touch something into our clients that really is all there, that they're really tapping something within, and then we sort of call it that we are gently cracking the coconut from the inside out. And then, once we find the self-love, once we learn to love and honor and respect ourselves first and foremost, it's this beautiful juice, this nectar we have inside of us. We can then become self-resourced and drink that beauty for the rest of our life. And we realize that, life isn't, the solutions aren't on the outside, but, the gold has always been on the inside. And I had a beautiful couple yesterday. They came to me from Sydney. She is 74. He is 85. And they came for some Soulsonic treatments. And just to get a tune up, to have a little bit more mobility, to, their life is so full and so vital. They have 2 residences. They grow their own food. And, and it was so inspiring just to see these beautiful 2 souls who've been married and who've been together for 50 years. To really, they want something more. And it's, for me as someone who's just in the 50th year, it was just so deeply touching. And, I had quite an interesting night sort of marinating in their essence and incredible stories. They filled my heart with so much joy and so many beautiful stories. And, we are so dumbed down to be old and stiff and stuck in victimitis, but to actually, to be connected to our dreams and have a passion and have a purpose, no matter if we're 75 or 85 or 95. It's just magical to have this incredible gift of, and I don't even call it a job. I have to pinch myself at, some days to just be connecting to these beautiful souls to activate really the spark, the life force within. It's magical, Daryl.
I know it is. And you know what? The reality is that guess what? Don't get me wrong, anybody. And I don't mean to be like this, but they are the diamonds, okay? And understand something. We all know that you start off with coal and then you've got diamonds. And look, I'm never going to surrender. I'm never going to give up on anyone. But you have to know something, everybody. It's such a small percentage. It's such a small minority of people that have the concept that they're not going to go to hell if they unconditionally love themselves and care for themselves and stop the judgment game with themselves and everyone else. I'm going to tell you something. Today somebody said, "What's your religion?" Because I want to get a consult, but I want to make sure, and I'm not going to tell you what religion they are, but they wanted to know if I was that religion. And I said, listen, my religion is unconditional love. So if it doesn't fit the menu, then that's okay. Because the reality is until you have unconditional love for yourself and everyone else, you're never going to know what freedom is. You're not going to know what health is. You're not going to know what life is. And understand that. To do that, though, you're going to have to come up against almost all your family, all your friends, and everybody you know, because they're never going to fall for that one. And they do think you're crackers. They do think that you've lost it all. Okay? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's like the hippie generation where they talked about love and everything like that. And, you know, they wanted to escape everything. Well, I don't want to escape anything, but it still is unconditional love. And if you can't have unconditional love for yourself, you might heal yourself of something, but you're just going to get something else. Or it's just going to come back because willpower doesn't work. It runs out. And you can rally your whole family behind you if you want. And you can spend all the money you want with you, and you can throw all the money at us if you want. But if your heart's not in and you don't buy into this BS of unconditional love and care for yourself, it's not going to last. It's just going to be, well, that was fun. You know, how about this one? Anybody ever hear this one? Wow, when I was doing this and this, I felt great. Well, why didn't you keep doing it? Well, because you can't. It's not logical. You can't go back to your family. You can't go back to your friends and do it unless you have support. And that's why this is not a sales pitch, but there's no practitioners like us. When you come to get a consult, you get lifetime telephone support. You get all the training. We give you, we don't treat you. We treat you, yes, but to not train you is the crime. It's a crime against nature. Think about all the natural health practitioners, all the doctors out there. They don't train you, they treat you, and they hold everything close here, okay? And it's all because, guess what? It makes them up here. That makes them feel great because they're up here because they never were before. Or, you know what? They're worried that we're just not going to make enough money, or the reality is this. It gives them power. Well, understand something. It's the power of love we want, not the love of power. I'll tell you something. I'm not glued to money. I know that the only thing I really don't like down here is that, you know, we are slaves to money. But I'm not a slave to money. You know, I know how to make money, but I know how to spend it. And guess what? You know, like I'm coming up with a Braveheart app, and that app is like 180 grand. And the reality is I know I can do this, but I can't do it without Source God Creator. And understand something, everybody. Your life is where it is. Your health is where it is. Your money's where it is because your thoughts are where they are. Your thoughts created everything about your life. And until you change your thoughts and understand something, do you know why Tora does mainly personal treatment and trainings at her place? Because she knows if she can keep people captivated long enough and she can crack their coconut from the inside out with their help, and they go, oh my God, okay, I get it now. I cannot trust myself. I cannot trust the beliefs I have because they're not even mine. They weren't even my parents' parents. These beliefs I have are all programmed. Let me tell you something right now, okay? I had a lady today go, my daughter, what the hell's wrong with her? We're good people. God, I don't know why she's like she is. And I go, listen, you're wonderful people, but you gave her to the government. Like I gave my kids to the government. And then they had your kids for 12 years, and the government had your kids, and they had their attention more than you'll ever have them. That's where we went wrong. So don't beat yourself up. But now you're going to have to use unconditional love and not judgment and punishment to punish your daughter because she's not doing what you want. She's doing what the government told her to do. And understand something. The government raised your daughter. She goes, no, I did. I said, no, the government did. You loved your daughter. They raised her. And she didn't like that. And I said, please, do not feel bad about it. We all got sucker punched. But now you've got to be the mother that she's always wanted. And this is why I then told her, why don't you bring your family for a personal treatment and training? Oh, because my husband would never spend that kind of money. Well, what does he spend his money on? Well, he has a car collection. So I don't touch that with a 10-foot pole. So, the reality is that most of the things that I talk about are just, I'm a whack job. Okay? So I get that. But the reality is I'm not going to stop talking, and I'm not going to talk because I'm going to have your approval. Are you like out of your skull? I want my approval. I want my creator's approval. And that means that guess what? If I have to say something, I'm not going to try to hurt anyone. I'm going to go with all my love, but I'm going to tell them the truth. You know what? If you want to get stroked, you can go and get stroked anywhere because most practitioners are strokers. They will manage your pain. They won't help master your pain until you understand that all your suffering is just a GPS and your body's going, what the hell are you doing? Your most valuable relationship, and you've never had one. And that's with the 50 trillion cells and the 500 trillion bacteria that you decided you wanted to kill with bacterial soap during COVID in every store you walked in. I mean, who's using their heads here? I mean, right from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. When are we going to take it back? Tora?
Yeah, Daryl, I just, you make me laugh, and it's so, it's so sad in so many ways, and it's so, it's really scary to take our power back and to take our control back. But once it's like a muscle. Once we practice that a little bit and we build that stronger, and we don't see, the things if we send our children to school, we wake up and we learn and we do something different. Our beautiful 11-year-old daughter, and Grace very well, she's sort of being in school, out of school, and now I've completely taken her out. And, so often like this morning, she was sitting next to me, and I just look at her and I just see that, she's really got her sparkle and her power back, and she's sort of growing into this incredible, confident flower. And the other thing that, because she is, when I do personal treatment and trainings, she helps me with her food prep. She does all the juicing, and she's really in that environment, and it's real life. She sees the transformations. Sometimes when I have the really deep and difficult discussions, the tough love discussions with my clients, I can see a little tear rolling down her cheek. And in that way, it's just, this is really what life is, and to be human and to be, to loving and respectful with each other. And it's, to be, to be real in our time. And, we're political correctness, and we can't really address any issues. And, when people come to us and we create the perfect day, the biggest thing is to really become honest with ourselves. And when we do that and we take responsibility on the micro level for ourselves, then everything in our energetic field changes very, very quickly. And, I have homeschooled. We have 2 teenagers and Grace, and, and I started off with, sending them to very expensive, high sort of privileged institutions, because I thought that was the right thing to do as a mother, and I sacrificed so much time and effort and sacrificed my own soul doing that. But over time and distance, I've taken them out, and they've had tutors and they have mentors. Jessica, my eldest, she's really into herbs and herbalism and nature and natural horsemanship, and Lottie's incredible singer songwriter, and so I've really allowed them to sort of connect with their gifts, and all I've really done is just they've shown them the seeds, but then they've had to water them and they've had to take responsibility for different areas in their own lives. And now, when you meet them, they can have discussions. They're independent. They're making their own money, their own income, and it's and my family has really really abandoned me in a way. But it's through that I have now found my own soul family, and the Braveheart Nation, and so many beautiful clients. And it's just when we change our frequency and we really let go of the things that are toxic and no longer serves us, it's like on the other, we're sort of wrestling with this little element of resistance and fear. But in my own experience, when we actually step into the fear, the universe is there 1,000 times to actually then come towards us. And the more steps I take, the more courageous I become, the more truthful I am, the more everything in my field has changed.
So we've got people, I don't mean to change the topic that much, but I think we should do this for them. We've got people asking how they get in touch with you, Tora. We've got somebody here from New Zealand. We've got a few people from Australia. How do they get in touch with you, love?
Yeah, my website is nearly finished. It's still under construction. So the best way at the moment is on my cell number, which is 041 399 3493. Or you can email me. It's THORA@TKLifestyleSolutions.com. I do have a web page up, which is www.tklifestylesolutions.com.au, where you can just put your information in and that'll come through to me. And I'm mainly taking personal treatment and trainings because I'm really seeing the incredible transformation within sort of the 7-day time period. Daryl, I got a beautiful write-up from a client yesterday who spent a week with me. Do you mind if I read it to you?
No, I don't mind anything, actually.
Yeah, so this lady wrote to me yesterday, and she said, I'm a medical practitioner. I just spent a week with Tora, TK Lifestyle Solutions at Vela Beach. I arrived exhausted and unwell. The week with Tora has been fantastic. Walks on the beach, organic food, gentle exercises, meditation, counseling, deep tissue and body work has improved my approach to life immensely. Tora is amazing. I recommend her to anybody who's prepared to take personal responsibility to retain their mental and physical well-being.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's not your fault, anyone, but we gave ourselves away a long time ago. We gave ourselves away on every level. Even the people that think they didn't give themselves away gave themselves away. I do believe that this is a bit of a slave planet, but nobody's ever going to say that I was ever enslaved here. All right? Because I'll even come on my platforms and tell every authority out there they have no authority. They're not even authority. Who made them the authority? There is no authority over you once you realize that. And nothing's ever going to get better. It's only going to be so temporary because everything's an illusion. You know what? Once you are able to love, honor, respect, and protect yourself and be there for yourself, be the Braveheart hero that you've been searching for, be the answer you've been searching for, it's over. You've got this. You've got this. You have this. You'll own this. I'm telling you right now. If I only live one more day, I'm doing it my way. Okay? All right? When I go to these Christmas dinners, this Christmas, and when I go to them, I'm okay. I go right in. I go right to the grandchildren. I go right to the little kids in the corner. And then guess what? I play until it's time to go home because I cannot sit at the adult table. And they don't want me anyways because I'm sitting there and they're talking about cancer and heart disease and this drug and that drug and what this symptom, and then talking about this war and that war. And you know what? I just, you know, if I'm going to vomit, it's going to be therapeutic vomiting. It's not because somebody made me do it. Okay. And that's the deal. Love your family, but no, I'm not partaking. What do you think, Tora?
Look, absolutely. And the beauty is that, you know, like our Christmases are quite different now because of the farm and the beautiful paradise that we live in, and we have this beautiful community of friends and families, and we're going to have a beautiful healthy picnic lunch together. We're going to be swimming in the river. But you know, the years ago, I remember the drinking and the alcohol and feeling toxic for weeks and weeks, and it's just such a gift not to be stuck in that cycle anymore. And you know, when people come and say, look, it's so hard to change and so hard to give it up, for me, the experience has been quite the opposite, because, you know, when we follow a perfect plant-based diet on a nutritional, physical, and emotional level, it's really about making it so simple, and more than anything, really listening to what feels good in the body, you know, eating less, giving the body more energy to heal and regenerate and do what needs to do. And then, you know, life becomes so simple. We have, you know, beautiful fresh juices, we do blended drinks, we have so many salads of, you know, all different rainbows, all different descriptions. And it just makes life joyful on every level. And, you know, what we're finding is that by, sort of conducting ourselves like that as a family, we're actually drawing in people who are much more than our blood family, because we play and we resonate, and yeah, we just have fun on the same level. We operate on the same frequency.
Beautiful. And you know what? And here's the deal. Everybody is a beautiful soul. Not everybody has beautiful beliefs. And if you're not willing to venture into the subconscious and do some house cleaning, and here's what's going to happen, everybody. You want to see? Shortbread cookies, sugar mania. Do you know why? Well, we're all addicts of sugar. We know that. We eat 100 times more sugar than we did in 1900s. We know that sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. But guess what? Do you know why you go for the sugar? Do you know why you have addictions? Because you need serotonin. You need serotonin to be happy. And if you're not self-serving and you're not talking to yourself and you're your own cheerleader, loving, caressing, caring for yourself, then you need to stimulate the serotonin dump. So then you're going to do it with sugar. And guess what? That's how these sons of bitches have enslaved us. And they've done it, and they're sneaking the sugar into everything, the chemicals, the stimulants. And yeah, it's giving us a serotonin dump, but we are paying for it so greatly. You know what? I just want to thank 99% of the population for bringing the next COVID series on around February the 1st. That's when it's going to start, because there'll be people that will be blowing their nose. Well, the reality is, if anybody really wanted to know, a virus can't jump 1 inch less 6 feet. If anybody really wants to know, all you're doing when you're blowing your nose is the bacteria and the worms and the fungus in your body won't eat the heavy metals and the man-made chemicals. So that's why you have to have a cold and flu and drip it out. And a virus can't jump 1 inch, and you cannot. Oh, look at this. TikTok just told me I'm going to be restricted or cut off here. Must have been a bad word I said. So anyways, I'm just telling everyone that your nose is going to drip as much as it needs to drip, because it needs to be a tap. There are 300 different solvent soaps that are made by the human body to break down things that parasites and fungus and bacteria won't even eat. You know why? Because it kills them. The man-made chemicals and the heavy metals that you got to get rid of, and the GMOs, they won't touch. They won't touch that stuff. Okay, because it'll kill them. So now you have to have a cold. You got to have a fever to burn off the infection. That's what fevers are for. okay? And then you got to have diarrhea, or you got to throw up, or you got to have sweats because you got to blow it out somehow. So just know this, the more you poison yourself, the more you're going to be in bed, moaning, groaning, sweating, dripping, okay? And understand, if you didn't do that, you'd be dead, okay? So you are going to be in as much pain as you caused as much suffering for 50 trillion cells. There it is. And that's it. So you can take that one to the bank, everyone. So yes, okay, compassion for everyone. I get it. But guess what? They drug themselves during the whole of Christmas, and then they're going to take more drugs to numb it out. And guess what? Somebody that had unconditional love for themselves knows their limit. I'll do one shot of Mescal in a big thing of natural lemonade. Okay? I might do two, go all the way, Daryl, but I'll stop there. Okay? Because guess what? There is no amount of alcohol that is healthy. You can't show me one thing. And understand, every shortbread cookie, every candy cane, okay, all of this, you have to get it out. So if you can't help yourself, you better be drinking tons of structured water, a lot of it, and warm water to flush that out. You better keep your bowels moving this Christmas, okay? Just remember, poison in, poison out. What do you think, Tora?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And, you know, it's very hot here at the moment, and I've got a big afternoon of clients. And this is already my second one for the day of structured warm water, and I've actually got the Black Diamond in there. And it's just amazing just how much energy it gives me, and how, you know, anything that's sort of niggling around, by drinking the hot water, it's like a solvent, really hydrating and just eliminating anything that doesn't serve. And the other thing I was going to say, by having like one lolly of sugar, we're basically shutting down our immune system for 48 hours. So it's just such a nasty thing. And stop poisoning your children. I get really upset to see the crap parents are feeding to their children. Like, as a mother, that makes me,
if you're really, if you're really, really good, mom's going to poison you. I see everybody's programmed to knock their family off. Okay. All right. You're programmed to knock your family off. And that's the God's truth. Listen, everyone, I want to tell you this one thing. Stock up with digestive enzymes. Get a big bowl. You can get my Complete Digest, or go to the health food store and get lots of digestive enzymes. Keep them in the middle of the table for all the overeating. And don't take 2, take 10. Take 10 digestive enzymes at every big meal that you overeat. Trust me, I'm telling you the God's truth. Take 10 at the meal. And do me a favor. Make sure you're drinking lots of warm to hot water. And if you were to buy my Ormus Minerals and my Black Diamond, okay, and you were to put that in all your drinking water and do about 80 drops of Ormus a day, do about 1/8 of a teaspoon of Black Diamond 3 to 4 times a day, and drink lots of warm to hot water, okay? And if you don't want to buy my daily cleansing tea, get my daily cleansing tea caps. There's no stimulants in there. And take 1 capsule every night, you little piggy. Because understand something. You're not food combining properly. You're eating too much garbage. It's got to go in your mouth, travel 30 feet, and rot down in your belly. So you better make sure you're taking a daily cleansing tea cap every night, so that you can go and smell the rot in the toilet that would have been in you. And understand something. You're going to go and take a look. If you drank that water, like I said, and took the daily cleansing tea cap, and you're going to fill the toilet. Now, you're not going to go to the bathroom, and things are going to slow up, and you're going to see this one hard chunk that'll come out, and it'll fall right to the bottom of the toilet, because it'll sink, because it's so compacted. If I were to hit you in the head with it, you'd fall. It'd be like a rock. And understand, that's because you sucked all the other poison into your bloodstream. And that's called pooping in your pelvis, baby. So understand, when you got the low back pain, when you got the swelling of the feet, when the varicose veins are popping out, that's because you're pooping in your pelvis. When your hips start to hurt, that's the infection creating the inflammation spreading out to your hips. How many people know this? 95% of all hip surgery is because you pooped in your pelvis. 95% of all low back surgery is because you actually rotted out your spine. Yeah, are you done yet? Okay, what about cysts? What about cysts on the ovaries, endometriosis? How about all the bladder infections? Because the last 3 inches of your bowel, you were trying to grunt that last turd out and it wouldn't go. And it just sat there and you just absorbed it. And then the bladder took it. And now you're going, oh my God, I went to the doctor and I got cystitis. Well, of course you did. You reabsorbed all that waste. And now you've got E. coli in your bladder. That's what bladder infections are, E. coli. Where does E. coli come from? A manure pile. Okay, I'm just telling you the truth, everybody. So don't kick the living crap out of yourself and then be laying in bed dying. And don't worry, you're not going to die, but you are going to pay for all the pain and suffering you caused those 50 trillion cells. Tora?
You're beginning to sound like my mother, Daryl. She always said to me, "There's a price for everything." So, my dear
just let me know if I start looking like her.
No, you're good in that department. But what I was going to say to everybody out there in the world is that why don't you this Christmas and this holiday season approach it in a different way? That the biggest present you can give yourself by actually becoming present, slowing down, connecting with your lion heart breath. 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, and start listening to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs. And when you hydrate your body with beautiful, structured, warm to hot water, when you eat high vibrational foods, you actually create space to feel, and you create space to get to know this body more. And then, pay attention. And then become intentional, everything that you put inside.
What should everybody do when they go to the bathroom at the mirror? Can you please tell everyone if they did that and they actually did the mirror thing, then guess what? You might just have a little bit more compassion and sympathy and not try to kill yourself this New Year's. Okay? Tora?
That's right. So when you go to the mirror, I want you to look at yourself.
when you go to every bathroom visit this Christmas, every bathroom visit.
And really look at yourself, look at your eyes in the mirror. And in the beginning, that can be quite difficult. But after a while, it's like the beauty, the magic will actually start coming into yourself. And then as you get to know yourself, to love and respect and honor yourself, that connection to then looking after this beautiful physical vessel, this skin suit, becomes easier and easier. And building that loving relationship with ourselves is so important. And it's really, we are so disconnected on so many different levels. And it's just a wonderful habit. We've got so many bad habits, but it's a wonderful habit to do that. And I, then take my love band, and really look at myself and you got this, girl. That was amazing. Or if something is going on, sorry, my phone just rang. If something else is going on, then, like you catch yourself, 3, 2, 1, that was the old me. This is the new me. There's a new sheriff in town. But really connecting with ourselves with our eyes. And, we're connecting with our soul, with our spirit. It's magic.
You are the magic. You are the magic. You know what? Just think if you were nice. Just think if you fell in love with yourself. If you had a really great love relationship with yourself, you would have that with everyone else. If you can't fix the relationship you have with yourself, you will never be able to fix any other relationship in your life. What do you think, Tora?
I think that's exactly right, Daryl. And it's a relationship, but more than anything, the way I've experienced it in my physical body and in my spiritual and my energetic field, it's actually a love affair with myself. And I did a post yesterday saying that, if we don't really become selfish, then we cannot be of service to others. And if we don't really meet our own needs and say no and have strong boundaries, we cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's time we actually take responsibility. we fill up our cup, and then from there, only then can we be of service and love our children and our spouses and the community and be of service in the world. And our world needs us to show up, to get real, to stop suffering, to stop being in victimitis. And what a beautiful time of the year when we are, not working, when we're coming back with our families. So, I invite you to connect with yourself in the mirror. And, my special way to do that is in the morning, I actually sit with myself very quiet for at least 10 minutes and really just breathe in the body and stay connected with my heart. And, our soul only whispers when we become very quiet. And then, things become so clear. And from that place, I really am in my own power. I'm not distracted. And then, I very much have a intention that I live my life through. I live that day through. And every week I have actually an intention. And this week, my intention is to take nothing for granted. And, this week, we're in Australia, we're in Wednesday. It's been one of the most beautiful, incredible weeks of my life. And, to say that at nearly 50 years old, imagine what's ahead. And it doesn't matter what chaos is out there. I had to drop my calf this morning in town on the freeway. It was absolutely terrible, but because I'm intentional and I have my beautiful little angel sitting with me, and we have the most beautiful conversations. And the present moment is the only moment we have. And in those micro moments, when we bring the magic to it, then life becomes a completely different experience.
It certainly does. It certainly does. Somebody's asking, there's going to be a Wolf Non-Surgical course in Melbourne, and that's going to be happening in February, correct, Tora? If you guys want, you can go to Braveheart Nation to get more information on that. We're also doing a Wolf Non-Surgical and Whole Life Coach certification. We have room for 4 more people in both courses in Ixtapa, Mexico. And it's at the Cala del Mar. It's a 4-diamond resort. Just know if you are going to come down here, you can give me a call. We can get you a place for a month here. Stay around $350 US. Okay? All right. So if you go online and you take a look at the Airbnbs and you look at the hotels, they're going to jam you. But you don't have to pay that kind of money. Just have to know the terrain down here. And then from there, like I said, Dr. Sage Wolf will be teaching a course, non-surgical, in February in Melbourne. Then on March, we go to Barrie, Ontario, Canada to teach Wolf Whole Life Coach certification, Wolf Non-Surgical, and the Pelvic Restoration 3-day course. Then from there, we go to Sacramento, California. We have never done a course there. Every time we wanted to go to do a course there, there was some kind of insanity. So we've rented this huge house. It's mammoth. And people can actually rent rooms there and stay there. It's beautiful. It's on top of this huge hill overlooking the whole city. So there's like 5 rooms we're going to rent out there. And then from there, I think we've got a month off. And then we go to Florida. And then from there, I think we go to Australia. And then from Australia, we go to just outside London, England. And then we come back here and we do another course in Ixtapa, Mexico. All right. Tora, can you tell people how, again, they would get in touch with you to come and get treatment or personal treatment and trainings up at your retreat?
Absolutely. And if you are interested or you would like to know more about the courses in Australia, please also give me a call, and any question I'm available for. My number is 041 399 3493. To book a personal treatment and training, or just book a consultation, a perfect day consultation. Also 041 399 3493. Or you can email me at tora@tklifestylesolutions.com.
When's that website? I know you had one already, but you're redoing it. When's that going to be done?
Daryl, look, they're on holidays at the moment, so yeah, I'll let you know as soon as it's up.
Okay, all right. Is there anything?
It's been, it's one of these things. I'm not technically minded at all. My skill is with people and healing, and it just you just got to leave it to the experts sometimes. So it's a good practice in letting go and trusting.
Absolutely, love. Is there anything else you'd like to leave everybody with?
Look, it's just I really ask you to choose yourself and connect with yourself, and stop looking for the answers outside, because the magic is right within you.
Thank you, Tora. And just know, tomorrow night I will be back on with Tora, and I'll also be on with Rami from Texas, and I'll also be on with Debbie from Florida, and I'll be on with Cheryl from California, and we're going to be talking about Power Pack Healing, which means we're going to be talking about the Cellsonic 25,000 volts put into a love harmonic, how it can decalcify, how it can shut down stage 4 inflammation, how it can actually take scar tissue and bring the life back to it, okay? We're going to be also talking about the Cardio Med Bed. They're going to be giving actual case testimonials with people. And Rami's going to be talking about how she was working on a woman, and she did, first she did the Cellsonic, and then she did Wolf non-surgical on her pelvic area, because she has big trouble down in her pelvis. I'll let her tell the story. And after she did that, Tora, she had 2 tapeworms come out of her vagina the next morning. So understand, everyone, and I need you to get this. When you read my book, you'll understand that if you were to create a perfect day on an emotional, physical, and nutritional level, and you knew what Gentle Baby Detox was and how to live that lifestyle, you never have to do a deep cleanse again, and you don't have to go and try to scare all the worms out because you didn't create them. Remember something, we are light energy, electrical magnetic beings, so you better watch out what you think, what you drink, what you eat, who you hang around with, and it's really all about that. And understand, guess what? The only reason why this is a slave planet is because it's so easy to program a human being into a human doing. And it's so easy to program families to poison each other on an emotional and physical level. Tell me I'm wrong. Just tell me I'm wrong, please. And then why aren't these families, and why isn't the whole world lining up for a whole life coach course or a personal treatment and training so they can crack their coconut and go and test their courage and find out that, guess what, you can unconditionally love yourself, and no one's going to drag you off to hell, and nobody's going to take you to jail, and there's nobody coming for you. That's the illusion that gave you the contusion, because guess what, the tiger has no teeth. Tora?
That's right. The fear is false evidence appearing real, and it's time for us to take our power back, take our control back, become our own healer, our own practitioner, and learn to love ourselves so we can love the ones around us.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. There's nobody that I dislike. There's people that have belief systems that I do not care for. But you know what? When you go to check out at that teller because it's going to be hectic, or you go to get in your car, okay, and they flip the bird, or it looks like they're suffering and in pain, or they're not treating you right, if she's got a badge on, call her by name and tell her that she should have the most beautiful day of her life, and let her know that there's love everywhere. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Tora, would you like to finish it?
Absolutely, Daryl. So beautiful, brave hearts. I trust that some of our words have touched you. And remember, you are not alone. We are Braveheart Nation, and we are family, and we are here to love and to support each other. And please reach out to us. You can do that on braveheartnation.com. And Look, life is so short. This is not a dress rehearsal. Let's stop taking each other, our family, and this beautiful world for granted. And let's really become our own present by being present. And let's create magic together this festive season.
Absolutely. And when somebody pushes your pain button, push their love button. Have a beautiful night. 3, 2, 1. We got this together. Braveheart Nation, we love you. Have a beautiful night, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone.